Hey guys, welcome to Veggie Sense. Today I'm sharing my vegan Picadillo de Res. This is a super tasty stir fry of potatoes, vegan beef, and other veggies. All of these ingredients are then simmered in a tomato-based soup, and it is so good. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click on that subscribe button. I post recipes every week, and I would truly appreciate the support. This is a super easy recipe. If you're interested, let's get started. You are going to need tomatoes, an onion, and your favorite spicy pepper. I'm using Serrano peppers. Jalapenos would also be great too. In a blender, you're gonna add a wedge of white onion. I'm adding 1 large tomato, or you could add 2 Roma tomatoes. I cut mine in half. Then I'm gonna add garlic cloves, as well as a cube of vegan beef bouillon, and 1.5 cups of water, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm using Himalayan salt. Then I'm gonna add my serrano or jalapeno pepper, and if you don't like spicy foods, you can skip the pepper because this is definitely meant to give you a little kick. So if you like mild, you could add about 1/4 of your pepper depending on how spicy it is. Mine was very spicy, so I only added half of the serrano pepper. What you're gonna do then is blend everything together until it's smooth. Once well blended, set aside, and now onto the potatoes. I peeled and cubed 3 potatoes. This made almost 3 cups. When cutting, try to cut them the same size, that way they cook evenly. On a hot non-stick pan over a very low medium flame, place the lid over them so they can cook faster with their own steam, and after 12 minutes I checked on them. They were cooked thoroughly, so I removed them from the heat and seasoned them with about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then set aside. The next step is to prep the TVP. I purchased mine at my local Mexican grocery store. You can also find it online or in most health food stores. This is a soy product, and it's great because its texture really does resemble meat. The only thing is that it's not the healthiest thing in the world, so consume moderately. This is what it looks like when it's dry. It feels hard. The first thing we need to do is hydrate it. So I'm gonna rinse it, then place it in a saucepan and fill with water. You'll notice the texture change immediately. Once it becomes hydrated, they puff up. I simmered for about 10 minutes over a low-medium flame. Then I tossed out the water, rinsed again with cold water, and squeezed all of the liquid out of it until it was dry and puffy like this. Alright, now on to the stir fry part. I chopped about a cup of white onion and cooked over medium heat with a little bit of oil. And then I'm gonna add this vegan beef bouillon. This brand I purchased, I believe, at Walmart. I was actually pretty happy when I found it because it's vegan, so that's great. And this is gonna flavor the onion as well as the textured protein. What I'm gonna do is go in with my cooking spoon and just break it apart and incorporate it very well. And once it looks something like this, I'm then gonna add the textured protein and also mix it in well. Add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cumin. A little goes a long way. This helps bring out the beef taste we're going for. Continue cooking and stirring, and I did have to transfer it over to a non-stick pan because it wasn't frying properly in the other one. So here it is. I did add a little bit more oil, and now it's browning nicely, as you can hear. I really love that sizzling sound. Alright, so the next step is to add the cooked potatoes to the onions and protein. Add more oil if you need to, and continue frying. Then I'm gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. By the way, the reason why I'm adding oil a teaspoon at a time is just to control how much oil I'm adding. I don't want to add more than necessary, just enough to brown. And speaking of browning, mine is ready for the next step. So I'm gonna add 3/4 of a cup of diced tomato, mix that in. And if you're into spicy food like me, you can add 1 chopped serrano pepper or jalapeno. Again, this is optional. It's only if you're into spicy foods. After 3 minutes, add the tomato sauce that was blended earlier and bring the heat to a low and adjust the seasonings to your taste, then allow to simmer for about 5 minutes. After a few minutes, all of the flavors have deepened and it looks amazing and smells really good. I'm now going to remove it from the heat and serve. This vegan picadillo is such a good dish. I can't wait for you to try it. I love making it because it's delicious and savory, also super easy. It took 30 minutes to make. And I like to garnish with fresh cilantro and eat with a side of refried beans, also warm tortillas. If you enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to subscribe for weekly vegan recipes, and thank you so much for watching. Until the next meal.